Brian Fergeson, Rolling Stone magazine. I'm sitting here in this lavish tour bus with Slim Daddy Flash, who is currently producing a double album live for Yoko Ono. Now, it's nice to meet you, and I appreciate taking your time out of your busy schedule.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing
Thanks for
fine.
being here.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm doing good. I'm a very, very happy man.
Okay. On this Yoko Ono live album, is that a DVD?
It's a DVD. It's a CD. It'll be released as both. It is high definition. It's going to be stunning, literally stunning.
Well, let me get on with questions. So, Slim Daddy, how did you meet Keith Howard, also known as Joe Hollywood, and his wife Joanne?
Oh, we go back a little ways. Me and Keith, I think we met back in '71. I was an up-and-coming phenom in the engineering department for Warner Brothers Records. I was a star on the rise, a very good producer. I was hired for my services to record and produce the best album that Uriah Heep had ever produced.
Which one was that?
That was our goal. It was their fourth album. They've had success on the other three. A very successful rock and roll band. But we wanted to push this through the door and have it blow up, really, in everybody's face. And it did. The name of the album was Demons and Wizards. And a very, very good album.
Yes, I do. I love that album. It was different than a lot of other albums that were out there at the time.
Yes, it was.
So, could you tell me about Keith Howard, a little bit about him?
That's Keith Howard. The story is with Keith Howard. When I first met this guy, we were in the studio recording Uriah Heep's fourth album, Demons and Wizards. Ken Hensley, the keyboard player of Uriah Heep, I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yes, I am.
Very, very, very good keyboard player.
Yes, yes.
Fantastic on the B3. He reinvented the sound. Took it somewhere else that John Lord did with Deep Purple. And he just added upon that and made it even more brilliant. I was a big fan of his. I was looking so forward to working with him in the studio. I was doing my best to make a living, earn a living off being a producer, and the money wasn't there, the jobs weren't there all the time. I did a lot of odd end jobs, some modeling, this and that, some waitressing. I wasn't happy until I was going full blast into engineering and producing.
Was it a struggle to get up to that point?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, I don't know if you've done any you're a stunning looking man. I don't know if you've done any modeling. Well, yeah, well. Unfortunately, I did dabble in a bit of that, but the money was good, you know, and I had to take that. And, you know, and as hard as it was a road that I do not regret going down. It was good money. I needed the work, and it ultimately helped me get where I was wanting to go, and that is a record producer.
Okay. So about Keith Howard, is there
Yes.
any?
Keith Howard came into the picture. As I was saying, we were recording this album with Ken Hensley, the Uriah Heep. He's pretty much the boss of the show with that band. What he says goes. Well, Warner Brothers, is who I was obtained for my services through, they gave me full creative authority, if you will, in the studio, and things were going good, but Mr. Ken Hensley, he did not like to take orders, and me and him knocked heads on a few things. I was happy with what he was doing on the album. However, his horizons, that was the doors I was trying to open for him, he would not walk through them. Things began to become a bit irate between the two of us. He ended up stomping out of the studio, leaving the rest of us absolutely devastated. I mean, devastated. Ken Hensley just walked out of the studio. What are we going to do? So, we did what we had to do. We only had 2 weeks in that studio to create the greatest Uriah Heep album of all time. We put an ad in the newspaper in the Hollywood area, and we had a few people come and audition, not too happy, very good, talented people who just did not fit in with Uriah Heep's sound. Keith Howard one day walks into the studio, and here's this guy about 6'8", chrome dome, bald as hell, shiny as hell, and long hair growing off the sides. He was a funny looking guy. He still is a funny looking guy. This guy comes into the studio. We asked him some questions, liked what we heard, and it's like, well, let's hear your chops. We rolled tape, just for the hell of it, and let him jam with the first cut of the album. It was called Easy Livin'.
Yes, I'm aware of that song.
Very good song. And he was jamming to it. We was cutting it. We had it on. We was cutting it. We put it on tape. And I'll tell you what, it was phenomenal. It was pure magic.
Wow. And
if you've ever heard something that just goes so neatly and imaginatively around a sonic piece of beauty like that was, it really is incredible. We took down the other song, started the rest of the tracks. He whipped through them one after another without any rehearsal. He had no sheet music. He had just listened to them and then ran with it. And I'm telling you what, the man was a genius, a pure genius. He went through these tracks like butter, and what came out the other side was unworldly. We was even wondering if this man was human. It was this good. The big wigs, the company at Warner Brothers, they were extremely happy. Things were going well. We were down to mastering the entire album. We shipped a few albums out to some DJs across the country to see how it flew. That's used to be the way we did things back in the 70s. The DJs, the famous ones, they'd give us a yay or nay on it and see if it was going to roll. And people were liking it. People were liking what they hear. And lo and behold, one day Mr. Ken Hensley comes in, and he's pretty pissed off. He forces his way into the studio. locks the door, sits down with me, and he says, "Hey, Slim, chill out. I ain't got nothing against you. I'd like to work with you again." And I told him, "Hey, Ken, we got something good here, and I don't think we should piss with it, and I think this change has been done, and we ought to keep it that way." And he says, "Hey, Slim, hold on just a minute." He rewinds our tape on the first cut, and he solos out Mr. Howard's track that he's playing the keyboards on. Well, lo and behold, after the drums had disappeared, the guitars had disappeared, the vocals disappeared, all you got is Mr. Keith Howard on the keyboards. It was just funny, but all I heard was the same song on the first track as on the next 12 tracks, and the song was Louie Louie.
Every time you soloed it, you'd hear.
That's all he played. He knew 3 chords, and it was Louie Louie. And I don't know how we didn't catch it, but somehow it went marvelously with the music.
Wow.
And that was that. We let go from that moment on, and Ken Hensley come in, played better than he ever has in his whole life. And what can I say, my friend? The rest is history.
So they chose the former band member back, and
Absolutely. Ken Hensley was once again at the top of his game.
what happened with Keith?
You know what? I ever since that day, I kept in really good contact with Keith. He's been a very good friend of mine, and we've done all kinds of work together. He also had a very legitimate recording studio that was hugely successful, and he discovered a lot of good raw talent and made a bunch of good LPs himself.
What about his wife, Joanne?
Oh, Joanne is an absolutely lovely, lovely woman. I think Keith and Joanne met somewhere in the late 80s, or the late 70s sometime. I can't remember the date exactly, but I was with Mr. Howard when they met. We were running a load out to Southern California for running this rig that we had a sound and lights for that we was going to do a gig with, and we were working together at the time. We were also driving the truck. Well, here comes this cute little long-legged lot lizard. Well, I was going in and getting a cup of coffee, and Keith and her hit it off pretty good. She went by the name back then as Tonsella.
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 That's like tonsils?
Oh, that girl could sing.
Well,
Let me tell you.
I was thinking something else.
Let's just say that girl could sing. Yes, they hooked up in the truck, and by the time my coffee was brewed, they were gone. They were out of town and left me there without a ride. Needless to say, I was a little bit pissed off, but it was true love, and in the end, love prevails.
Yes. There's rumors I'm hearing of Keith and Joanne helping out prostitutes, and they've been doing this for many years.
Yes.
What exactly do they do to help them?
Keith and Joanne, I think ever since Joanne retired from what she was doing, they've spent their entire life improving the call girl industry. It's a very important line of work. Very successful. A very lucrative line of work, and it's paid off dearly for them. Yes.
So what do they do with the girls? They just take them off the street and clean them up, and
Well, they do. They'll get these young girls, a lot of them underage, the poor things, and they've been beaten by their pimps, and it's just really a tragic, sad case. And Keith and Joanne, they'll take them in. Keith will take them in and give them this beautiful, warm bed, sometimes two at a time. And and he shares his bed with them. That's how much he cares. And
does he ever discipline them?
oh, yeah, absolutely. It's just like one of your children. Keith was he was like a master at using a wire hanger.
Or abortions?
Oh no, not abortions, no. Yeah, I'm talking about just pure discipline. A wire hanger
pimp
does
stick.
exactly. A wire hanger doesn't leave no bruises, and it stings like a son of a bitch, and it's very effective. And you got to keep these girls in line. They're coming in off the street. Their job is to clean them up, straighten them out. If that means to use the hanger on them, or whatever it takes, and get them back out there. Time is money, and they ain't gonna make no money crying on the couch, telling about how bad their family life was. No, get them out there, get working, and their day seems to go a lot quicker if they stay out on the street. And of course, that's more lucrative for everybody involved also.
With all the sleeping around that goes on, is there problems with STDs?
Oh yeah, well, of course, and this is one area that I've always felt really bad with Mr. Howard about. He spent half his life being teased by his friends. He's known as the Drip.
What got him that name?
Oh, just the constant, the different arrays of colors that would be secreted. He always has these nasty discharges. The smell is very unpleasant, and
would you be able to
quite painful.
describe that smell? Or?
Oh, old baloney, and you know what? I'd really rather not. It's an unpleasant.
Sweet but sick.
Oh yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's you can understand.
I understand out there in the papers, from what I read, I seen a section saying that says there's a lawsuit against Keith Howard with a woman named Jackie Larson, who's also known as Sleazy C.
Yes, Sleazy C. Occasionally you get these girls will see what a success a gentleman is, and they're just out there trying to get a quick buck. And personally, I think it's just revolting what this girl had done. It's still in the process, and I'm a key witness. I really can't say much about that. However, Keith is a very big man. He's a large man, and I've showered with him multiple times, and but splitting a girl hip to hip, I don't believe that at all. I think that's just nonsense. It didn't happen. That didn't happen.
But, yeah. From what I read in the lawsuit, it says that she's suing due to
She's selling
abuse.
doo-doo?
No, from selling. I don't know where I got that from, but from what I understood in the lawsuit, she's suing for sexual mistreatment, sodomy, and she's claiming a portion of the money that she's gotten. She went over to the Keith Howard's house, and she's saying she's not getting paid what she should have got, and there should be a she's claiming she wants more the money and for the
Can we
penalties.
pick up this conversation in just 1 second? Let me take a short break, please. I'm sorry, I feel much better now.
Yeah, you're looking tired.
Where were we?
I was talking about the lawsuit with Jackie Larson, Sleazy C. I guess basically all her allegations are. Would you think that they were true, knowing Howard as well as you do?
No, absolutely not. No, I don't believe that any bit of that story is true. Like I said, we call him the pummeler, and he'll tear a bitch up, flat out. That's just a form of expression. You know. No grounds there. No. I've heard stories that she was turned inside out with a withdrawal stroke. I don't believe it. I've heard another story that her esophagus collapsed. I just don't believe it. I think this woman is just purely after his fortune.
You got a little bit of stuff there.
Where?
Looks like mentholatum or something. Let's see. Yeah, I think you got it. So I wanted to ask. I kind of stepped out of my path that I was following here. This All-Star Festival. Could you tell me about that at all?
Absolutely, yes. Since 1993, the Howards have put on this extravaganza, if you will, on Labor Day, and it's just an absolute marvelous day of music, food, and friendship. And what can I say about it? It's magnificent, and I certainly hope that we see you there.
Oh, I'll be there.
And it is what they do is they have a band there. It's a house band that are comprised of some Keith's best friends, and they're all around his age group, and it's a really good time. We plan on having the Wasatch Music Academy there, which are all young kids under the legal age of an adult, and these kids are absolutely incredible.
How young can they be?
Well, they could be anywhere from the ages of 5 to 18 years old.
Wow, that'd be nice.
Oh, and yes,
Fun.
and That school's headed up by a man named Dave, and he's very good at teaching these kids. He's a drummer himself, and he sits in at the festival almost every year. I mean, this is a really good time, and the food's great, the people are great, and the music's even better. And this year, this next Labor Day, once again, I'm going to produce the concert. It's going to be probably a 4 CD, 4-hour event with me, of course, engineering the sound, and we'll probably get some footage and make a DVD as well as a CD.
Well, that'd be nice. Yeah, I'll definitely have to go.
Very
Food's
much
good, you said, huh?
Absolutely. There's a header of the menu is a concoction called the Keith Burger, which is, until you've tried it, you really don't know what you're missing. It's I would say 60% soda cracker, 20% breadcrumbs, and 10% barbecue sauce, and about 5% 100% pure ground beef. And it's a good burger.
Sounds pretty light in the meat section, but
It is.
I guess it's 100%, huh?
Well, you know, it looks a little funny, and it really is a good burger. I think he bought. We had about 100 guests last year, and I think he bought 2 pounds of hamburger and stretched that out. Yeah,
wow.
You bet. It's a creative burger.
And probably better for you than that red meat.
That's what I hear. Yeah, absolutely.
So when did you, when you heard that he was having it again, supposedly he was going around telling people it was over with finally, but then I guess he told you that it was happening again, and because you told me something about how excited you were that it was going to continue another year.
Yeah, you know what? He says that every year. That guy's so funny. He's like, this is the last year, but then, you know what, spring hits around, starts getting his juices flowing, and it's the same thing. He has another one after another one after another one, and I think Joanne's just about ready to slap him around because she ends up doing all the work.
Oh.
So she does the majority of the cooking,
What does he do?
Preparing, you know, building. You know, I'm not sure what Keith does. He comes out and he's a very good hostess, let's put it that way, and he wears his funny hat and he does his thing.
What's his hat look like? I
mean,
does it look like a character of some kind?
I think he wears a different one every year. I think he was a Joker last year, but a very, very entertaining party, for sure.
Well, is there anything you'd like to say? Anything more you'd like to say about you or Keith?
Joanne? You know what? Keith and Joanne, if you're watching this, I love you. Let's keep doing this party, and we always get the greatest talent in the world to come perform there, and the greatest group of friends and prostitutes to enjoy the music, and in turn us enjoy them. And it's a day of free love, free food, and free music, and it's just a day of pure freedom.
Well, it sounds like I want to go, so
I'm looking forward to seeing you there, and don't be shy, come see me. All right?
Can you hook me up with some of the ladies of the night there? Or?
Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, at all ages, they're there. So, You know,
Oh.
you tell me what you're looking for, and
How young do they go down to?
well, it's in front of any type
Oh,
of
I understand.
camera.
I
But,
understand, and also that's my favorite.
Oh goodness, my goodness! I know quite a few gentlemen like you. Yes, but you know what? It's another point. It's good. It's good to see kids in elementary school learning a trade and a trade that can last at least 10 to 15 years.
And that's been in business since man was known.
Absolutely.
Oldest profession.
Absolutely. One of the oldest professions, you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they make a few bucks on the side. And the most important thing, of course, is getting people like the Howards paid off, you know, and so they can continue to spread that love.
I understand he does some magic and can have him sent to a doctor, and they can remake him into blossoming, untouched women again. Is that true?
Well, it's not a doctor. Let's put it that way. Joanne's became quite creative with a knitting needle, and she's got this little gimmick she does where she can
Do the hymen.
bring the virtue back to the woman, and it's been very successful. You know, it's quite painful for the girls, but
The guys, I'm
there's
sure, just love that.
there's
though.
a 10 to 20% increase in their pay that night, and you know, and I think it's a process that can be done up to 8 times a month.
Wow. Wow. That's a pretty good deal, though.
Very ingenuitive. I mean, it's a
And if the young girl decides to want to be untouched again, to be a fresh virgin, she can always rely on them, I guess, you know.
well, yeah, but the bottom line is, they don't have a lot of decisions, and they have to do basically what they're told, or
Pimp stick comes.
well, I hate to use that word, but the wire hanger is going to hang a few more clothes that night. You do. That's the bottom line.
Well, okay, I think I got it all. Thank you for taking time out on your busy schedule.
Well, you're very welcome, and it's been a pleasure meeting you, and I definitely hope I see you on Labor Day
I
at
hope
this gala, and bring a few friends if you'd like. Bring Eddie. Is he still with your magazine?
Yes.
Eddie Barlow.
Mm-hmm.
Bring him down, and
I'll give him a call.
he's been a good friend, and he's one of the few that I can really tolerate, in as well as yourself. And I appreciate the interview, and thank you very
I
much.
did too. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. Just
This is Brian Fergeson signing out from the trailer of Slim Daddy Flash.